How did you get into building?
My adventure into building probably wasn't one that I would have planned.
Do you have a set of plans that you work off, or
No, we did have 40 or 50 plans initially, and we scrapped them all.
So how do you include your overhead recovery margin?
So we run it as a percentage basis instead of a per job.
What's your conversion rate?
Probably 4 more than I'd like to have.
How have you changed as a leader?
Look, I guess one of the big things.
So where do you want to take the company?
We've always done little development opportunities, so I'd love to probably branch out into that and keep it.
And what would you say to a building company owner who maybe is stuck?
Yeah, it'd be...
Welcome to the Builder's Ladder. You're here with Marti, founder of The Professional Builder. Today I'm with Steve Glover. How are you, Steve?
Mate, it's a fantastic day here today up in Toowoomba, sunny Queensland, and thanks for having us as part of the podcast. Real excited, been looking forward to it.
Oh, mate, it was so good to catch up with you on sunny GC. What a great time that was at the summit.
Yeah, definitely. Yourself, all the TPV team, and probably put a bit of skin to the face. You try and put a face to the name, a bit of skin to the face that you talk to over the Zoom calls and all the stuff that we involved with you guys, but also just the community, the other builders over there. It's one of those experiences until you're there and you feel like, oh, it'll be good. I'll get some information. It'll be enjoyable. But then you get there and you get involved with it and you get deep into it and the conversations you have, like they're worth their weight in gold, those sort of events, I think. So
it was so good. And the boardroom day at the beginning, for me, was the highlight. People being vulnerable, sharing what's working, the 10-minute tactics that you don't get anywhere else.
Yeah, 100%. And not just like it's all good to get the warm and fuzzies and the nice stories and the wins, but it's the vulnerability. There's guys in there that probably had been battling a little bit and doing things tough, and you don't see that sort of things, but everybody has them, and then you relate to them and you can put yourself in those positions and hopefully will help where possible, but also gives you that understanding or that feel that, look, you're not the only one with these problems in life, business, life, whatever it may be, and there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. And it's good to see even since then, some of the guys that probably were a little bit down around that summit time, they've come through and had some massive wins over the last week or so too. So it's been awesome and sort of excites you. Like, you love seeing other people succeed as well, or most people.
I think that's the best thing about the community, right, is that if someone else is winning, then I can do it. If it can be done, they can do it. And what's more, typically they're willing to help. They're willing to share. Here's how I did it.
Yeah, 100%. It is. And to the deepest detail, it's I had this conversation, I think, at the follow-ups to your little road shows with Owen, that most builders, it's an us versus them mentality. It's us against the world, where in reality, one building company can only do so much and only build so many houses. And really, if we do, I suppose, work together, you can solve a lot of the problems or the issues or the pain points, or through business, through other people's experiences, and also sharing your own as well. So yeah, the community in that point, openness, and once you sort of get a bit from somebody and you give a bit and you see it is that circular relationship, it's not just a one-way street of somebody trying to take that give and take. You almost get rewarded more so being able to probably help someone as much as really good results as getting something to happen in your own business.
100%. You look like you've lost a few kilos since I saw you last month.
Yeah, I tell you what. Yeah, funny story.
You've been on the Ozempic or something. What's happened?
No. I'm just being very, very critical about what goes in the mouth. Funny story. I think the TPB through the video that we did through Joy might have launched yesterday, and I looked at it and I was like, holy dooly. It just reiterated that decision to make a few lifestyle changes. Impact me. I was like, oh, it's not until you see yourself on video, you see a photo and you realize, oh, I'm not too bad. I'm getting around, and you can suck the belly in and puff the chest out and you think not too bad.
Dude, honestly, look, I don't know, 5 kilos
Yeah.
lighter.
Yeah, no, down. Well, I'm down 14 off my PB, which is over about 6 months' time, 6 months
Damn.
ago. So, but yeah, still
Oh,
got a few to go. But again, that's something I neglected. We had a little baby girl,
oh,
16 months
congrats.
ago
How
now.
old's Bubs now?
16 months, yeah, yep. Obviously priorities change and things and family and going to the gym and exercising and
Mm.
probably spending time doing your meals gets pushed to the wayside and my health had probably impacted fairly heavily there. And it's an important part of anything in life, I suppose. I got to a point where I thought, geez, if I keep going down the way I'm going here, I won't be able to run around a park, kick a footy, chase her around, do the family things, but also be at your best with thinking, business, making decisions, being present, sort of bending over to tie your shoelaces up and without puffing and getting around on sites. So, yeah, and it was a big change we've made over the last 6 months. Health
Awesome.
wise and how it all relates into to everything you do as well. So,
And how have you found energy, sleep,
oh, massive.
etc.?
So I was heavy on got to a point, I hit about 128 kilos, which is,
Great work. Good
yeah,
effort.
yeah, I know, really good. If it was all positive muscle or positive body composition, that would be great. But it was probably carrying that spare tire and had
Uh,
like drifted into the sleep apnea and bad sleep and on the CPAP machine and even losing so down 14 kilos now, 114. Sleep's awesome, energy's better. Waking up at 5:15 without the alarm clock there and rolling over. So it's
Bam.
massive, yeah.
Dude, how good. How good. I love it. So, Steve, tell us a little bit about your company. How did you get into building? And then tell us a little bit about the company, type of projects that you do.
Yeah, so we're Paragon Homes. We're in Toowoomba, sunny Queensland, so just up from the Gold Coast. Look, my adventure into building probably wasn't one that I would have planned at school. Never did the woodwork, the manual labour side of things. Was probably went to school to play sport like a lot of people did through there. Um, Thought I'd go down the university route, do teaching, education. Took a year off, did a bit of work with AFL Queensland as a rep, um, and then university lasted about 6 weeks, and there was an assignment due. So that assignment wasn't getting done. So I suppose that was the fork in the road where we either dig in and do what we're going to do, or we go out and find a job. And really, I just thought, okay, young fella, go out and find a job. Got into the construction industry just as labouring, which led to an apprenticeship early 2000s, 2002, and from there I guess we completed our typical journey through the trade, come out of the trade, contracting to the builder that we did my apprenticeship with. And things were rosy. We were making good money, doing a lot of work, doing nice houses. He did sort of high-end homes in and around Toowoomba here. And
Hmm.
from there, GFC hit. He had contracts fall over, and it was like a fend for yourself conversation that come up. Hey, got no work as of Monday. So then we thought better pull our finger out. Over that time period, learned to sort of love actually getting in, constructing something, seeing the end product. Also seeing from the outside looking in the clients and how they appreciated the homes that we were building, the process they obviously went through, which being on site we weren't a part of. And then just made the decision, okay, let's do the additional study, let's get our certification, get our builder's license from there, and then kicked off Paragon Homes in 2011. And that was really the start of the journey and the start of a steep learning curve going from tradesman.
How hard can it be? Like,
Yeah,
my
exactly.
boss isn't
Well,
that
that's
clever.
what you do.
I can do
And
the
as a
work
tradesman,
better than him.
you don't know any better, and you just look at, okay, what are other people doing? And here, oh, okay, they've got a standard plan range. They do this. They've got a standard specification. You price this up, and you think at the time you enter in, you think value is by whoever's got the smallest number at the bottom of the page. And we had that mindset and mentality for quite a while, thinking people had come in and you'd be in the old Kate race, the race to the bottom, where this guy's going to do it. Back then, scarily enough, you're probably looking 200,000 for the build, and oh yeah, no, we'll match that, or we'll do it a bit below, because we didn't really, I guess, understand or have the processes in place to be able to deliver value for our clients. That we obviously come a long way to where we are now, but we just set it up the same way, did it over and over. Ended up generating work, and consider it lucky we sort of got in with a few investment families around town, so work was consistent. But it was basically that. It was work. It was
And
we were
what
doing
sort
it
of
from a
projects were you
wage.
mainly doing at that stage?
So the first one we did a specky over in an estate not too far from where our office is at the moment, just to have something to do. And then we picked up some little unit developments. So they were anything from sort of triplex to set of five, and that probably did probably 8 or 10 for a specific investor family. That sort of relationship went a bit south by the end of it, for a multitude of reasons from both parties. And then we did everything though. We did little renos. We did a couple of renos for ourselves. We did renos for clients. We did bathrooms. We did, you name it. If we had a bit of time and it was building work, then we did it. I guess our evolution then from trying to do everything was when we were part of well, I won't say the name of it. We're part of like a builders group, which sort of give you that franchise backing sort of setup, sort of promised a lot, under delivered, I think, in terms of actually helping you as a business person. But it sort of outlined and showcased and taught us the ways that a lot of the volume builders worked with. They were a volume background, and it was all about, okay, loss leaders, let's get people in, have a sales point where they come in, which is cheap, which you basically make very little margin on, sign them up into a contract, let's get them, once they've committed, then we'll margin creep back. So we'll change variations through. So you put them in like an M-type soil, knowing they're on an E-type soil. And once they've committed, here's your variation for additional foundation works. And you put that back at a higher margin and creep it back. And probably learnt a lot of things the way that they were trying to get all the business under theirs, how we didn't want to do business. I just thought if someone did that to me, I'd be pretty pissed off. And then I guess we transitioned. Then that was about sort of 2016. It was good because through that group, we did build a display home. So we learnt sort of a bit more traffic, having more conversations with people through there. But then we ceased that probably 2016, 2017, learned a lot of things about what we didn't want to do as a business. And then because my background was in the high-end stuff where I did my apprenticeship and contracted initially on, I guess we wanted to segregate ourselves out of that dollars-based purchasing for a client decision making, and put ourselves into, look, I didn't want to do the high-end things, but I wanted to bring a bit of that experience to the everyday mum and
So
dad.
by high end, do you mean architecture driven or?
Yeah, the architectural sort of multi
Sure.
3, 4, 5, $10 million jobs.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to, like typically in the building industry and what it was done for over many, many years, especially around town, Toowoomba was a pretty traditionalist sort of place, is if you didn't, you either did you pick a plan off a wall or you went and spent a lot of money with an architect. There wasn't really anybody doing too much of we call them family forever homes. So we're really sitting down and giving them that experience where, hey, let's get a bit of an understanding of you as a client, what you want with that home, what you want within your lifestyle, how your home needs to function, what areas you enjoy spending time in, what all your preferences, priorities are. Create a really detailed design brief like an architect would do if you were paying them tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars to manage your project. But let's do it in a more sort of a compact process where we can then deliver that to everyday families, mum and dads, take them through a prelim design, or full pricings, scope of works, which is tailored to their specific needs, which is where we're at now in our design experience, and populate
So who does the design? Do you have a set of plans that you work off, or do you have
No. So
a
we did
designer?
have the 40 or 50 plans initially, and we scrapped them all. So now everybody that comes through goes through our design experience. We've got an in-house team, so
Awesome.
our sales marketing guy will obviously take our clients through the journey to the point of okay, but they're ready to commit to our design experience, which
Mhm.
basically is a paid professional services agreement
Mhm.
where we'll do, depending on their circumstances, what needs to be done. But typically, the design, any professional services, soil testing, engineering, those sort of things, through their design, create our estimate, scopes of works, do our quantity takeoffs, deliver that in a very transparent manner. Like we are different to a lot of builders. We'll actually give our clients our cost pricing on line items. And one of the, I guess, the hurdles or the sales um, conversations that we have is we do have a specific markup that we charge your home, and the end result of your home cost is going to be all the supplies, materials, all the contractors' pricing, all the professional services that we need, all the fees and applications, councils that we may have. We'll give you all that detail of the cost, and then we will have our markup on top. So if they sort of kick back at, hey, what do you get to make money, sort of thing, then that's a client that sort of filters out through
So are you also
our
including in there your overhead recovery margin, project
qualification
management fee?
process.
Sorry?
Oh, you got me there? Might have.
Yeah, you're just
Yeah, sorry, I
frozen
got an
for a little bit.
unstable
I can
internet.
hear you.
Um,
You're just frozen on screen.
Through that, we charge a fee, which is look, it covers, I'd say, probably 75% of our costs, but we're looking at that as more of a skin in the game commitment from
And how
potential
much is that
clients.
fee?
Yeah, so it's the base fee is 3,300, and that's just for our drawings, our in-house estimation team to do up a full scope of works, and
Awesome.
we do a
Yep.
sort of 3D virtual tour through the Revit software. And it gets us through. Then we do our interior designer selection. So we populate all of that information into a final proposal, and it gets us to a point of a contract. If we need to, slightly more difficult job, like if it's a typical slab on ground, we sort of reverse engineer back cost all of our jobs. So we know, look, a H1 type soil is going to cost us this much a square metre,
Yep.
and consistently update that. And then if we need to do like soil tests, if there's bushfire overlays, if there's any additional professional services, that just gets added on to the
Sure.
cost
Gotcha.
as required.
Okay, great. And what are the next steps after that? So they get the prelim agreement, and then what
Yep.
happens after that?
Prelim agreement. So they enter into our design experience where we basically got a bit of marketing collateral, well, not marketing, more so design collateral about different styles of the homes, what materials work with different styles, colors, all of the information. So we try and, I guess, educate them to find out or think about what they really want within the home.
Mhm.
Fixtures, finishes, styles, looks, obviously budget that they want to get to as well. Then we'll sit down, look at that information, get that design brief back, sit down with them, hand sketch up a mud map of what their design is
A
going to
what?
be.
A what? A mud
A
map.
mud map. Haven't you heard of it?
What's a mud
So
map?
oh, look,
Educate me.
sort of like the
I'm
back of
learning
the
something.
sort of like the back of the napkin where you're just scribbling around.
Right.
That at a little bit more advanced
Sure.
looking than the back of a napkin,
Hmm.
where we've mapped out their site. But basically, it plans out. So the northeastern aspect, we obviously try to get their living areas there, our fresco spaces, our garage, where we're going to locate all of the features within their home on their site, and then we'll
Hmm.
build it out from there in a hand sketch. Basically, get that back to them within 24 hours. From there, get that approved. From there, if we're heading sort of 85% in the right direction, we'll sit down, then plug it into Revit and our modeling software, get our a full set of prelims back where we detail what we're going to have fixtures, finishes wise, floor coverings, if we've got any features, ceilings, all of that information. And I guess this whole design experience is about culminating all the information that we're going to need to construct their home at an accurate level. So
Hmm.
when we deliver them the end price after that final proposal, it's got substance behind it, because we talk about like a quote is just builder's best estimate
Yeah.
what that construction's going to cost. And by us investing the time into it, we're
Mm.
prepared to then give them. And one of our guarantees is if we don't change the scope of works,
The
a
price will be what it
collection,
was.
well, that will guarantee that will be the cost for your
Awesome.
build. Obviously,
And what's your conversion rate from people who enter into the design to proceed with doing a build?
so anyone who enters into the design, I think we're a tick under 90%, that
Awesome.
comes into it. Yeah. So we
Awesome.
try and we sort of protect it fairly well from people to come in, and it gets us away from, like, we don't. If someone comes in and they've got a plan and they're taken around to 3, 4, 5 builders, however it is, to get a price, it's a blanket no from us. Yeah, yeah,
Yep, absolutely.
yeah. With that, our ideal client will actually sit through with us to go through the design. Um, and yeah, it's a very high conversion rate from there. The ones that drop out are probably the ones that we struggle to align our budgets with expectations with when we actually sit down and get into the specific detail of what they want within the home. But
Yeah,
again, we're transparent. It doesn't really end on bad blood. It's just, hey, we can't
yeah,
afford it. But then it gets to the conversation, okay, what
gotcha.
do we want to change in here? And then we don't want to change anything. We want to have that house for this price. And
100%.
we're,
How far out are you booked?
at the moment, well, to give you an idea, sort of, we were looking at sort of planning to do 20 to 22 builds as a max, for a 12-month period.
Yep.
At the moment, we've got 16 on the ground, which is probably 4 more than I'd like to have for where we are currently with our team and our overheads, and our
Yep.
running costs. So we're pretty light on there.
Mhm.
And then we've got another 12 coming through design pricing at the moment, and 4 contracts. So yeah, we're
Let's
really,
go.
so we're about 150% capacity, and that'll take us through to starts. Perfect world scenario, no rain. We're through to June, July next year with start time. So
Dude, how good.
we're trying to start 2 slabs a month.
Mhm.
Perfect
And
world, nothing in December,
are you
January.
doing every aspect, you and your team, subcontractors doing every aspect, or are you subbing out part of the work?
So we've got a team of chippies that we have on the carpentry work, and we've also
Yeah.
got 2 contractors, and then we have,
Yeah, so walk
subs.
me through the structure, the office team, the guys on the ground, your subbies, etc.
Yeah, okay. So in the office, we've got a team of 11, including myself. So our sales marketing looks after, obviously, the marketing side. We're sort of a bit more heavy in that aspect. So then hopefully the sales take care of themselves. Then we've got our draftsman, in that design experience is where I sort of float a little bit in that design experience as well. And then we've got our office team consists of estimator, who then he's in charge of sort of procuring purchase orders for
Yep.
for all the jobs.
And
Got
is he involved in the construction meetings with the team the whole way through the project, or is he just purely at the beginning of each? Because
No, it is to a point of. So
so
we do
is he
all of
doing
our
the
purchase
at
orders.
costing, or is your project manager?
No, no. At the moment, I'm sort of that's my one that I haven't relinquished control over, the sort of the costings and the final estimates. And that's
Mhm.
a hurdle I'm trying to get past and work through. So no, he'll do all the procurement and all of our purchase orders. So all of our materials will be ordered at the start of every job, and then it's a matter of I guess confirmations with call ups with our on-site construction team, which is construction manager and a site supervisor, and then we've got the two carpenters and an apprentice on sites as well. So part-time bookkeeper and a part-time admin who does all of our certification applications and everything. I'd
Yep.
probably like to grow that role a little bit.
And how many guys on the ground, and are they employees, contractors, or fixed price labor gangs?
So we have our team of contractors, and then we have our team of employees on the ground. So 2 carpenters and an apprentice. They probably do 30, 25 to 30% of all of our homes. I like to keep them on probably the more difficult or the more time-consuming jobs because the other contractors are very good and they've been working for us for 4 or 5 years. We've got two other groups of carpentry contractors then that we utilise to as a fixed price square metre rate labour component, and then all of our other stuff. So plumbers, sparkies, AC, roofers, they're all on a fixed price
Sure. Okay.
contract basis.
Yep.
Where we through the estimation process, a lot of the stuff we send out to get quoted, and then scope of works is built out off that. But there's some other ones that we'll do off a
So how do
table.
you include your overhead recovery margin, and how do you factor in your project management into the pricing style
So
that you're doing?
yeah, so we run it as a percentage basis instead of a per job.
Mhm.
Our overheads are about a tick over $1 million now with where we sit. And we've worked that as a percentage of, well, as our target revenue, which is, I guess, where it's probably is a bit faulty in the way we may do it. But at where we were looking at to get to an 11 million revenue, it was about a 9% overhead.
So that's in
Margin.
the like 8 to 12% is
Yeah.
the golden ratio, and ideally 8 to 10, depending on
Mm.
growth stage that you're at, how much you're
Yeah.
investing into marketing, where the contracts are falling, blah blah blah. But it
Yeah.
sounds like you're bang in the right.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Well, so that's at the 11 million revenue. That's where we were sorting, and that's where we build that into our markup
Mhm.
process that gets added to the jobs, and our that includes everything that's like all of our wages on site. Sorry, our wages in the office that aren't specific job related, including myself, and then yeah, from there we sort of gets calculated into each job. Our profit, obviously, our gross profit that comes through at the end of each job, and then our net that spits out the bottom after all of those
Gotcha.
jobs. But where we're
That's
at now, we're probably looking at about 20 million revenue or a tick under. So that
mhm.
million then gets probably that's where we're a little light running on there. We're probably around that 5 to 6
Yeah,
I'm
that's
running from.
where it's good to have a look at on your business maturity date on your
Mm.
org chart. You can build out that next role that you hire based off your stop doing list. What's all the stuff that you procrastinate on, you hate, you suck at, or it's not in your zone of genius.
Yes, yeah, and I think that's where probably led into the bit there before is we're looking at somebody who does the budget controls, the back costings. I guess more of a project manager than a construction
Mhm.
manager.
Yeah.
That potentially then could filter into a GM role over
Yeah,
time.
100%. And
Yeah.
is that in the future, like structural buy-in or some equity for some of your senior team, or where do you, how
Oh,
do you see the structure of the
yeah,
business
look,
growing?
after it wasn't on the pipeline, wasn't really on the horizon until I guess your chat on the boardroom day down there, where it was challenging to think bigger and what do we want to do, and you sort of think, oh yeah, if we can do this 2022, that'll be cool. We'll just drift along at that. But I've always been one of those people that once you achieve something, you don't just drift along. You want to achieve more, and
Yeah,
there's a next step,
absolutely.
and you never really get to that end result. You tick off the
Mm.
goals, but that as you get closer to your goal, you find out there's bigger and
Mm.
better things.
And I've found that because our company's almost got 100 people in it now,
Mm,
and as I'm accomplishing a lot of my goals, buying a newer house, bigger
mm,
house, traveling, car, toys, whatever, more time, etc. It's about how can we help our team achieve their goals
yeah.
within our company vision. And
Yes.
part of that looks like, obviously bonus incentives and so forth. But now we're looking at employee share ownership program
Mm,
tiered between and equity or phantom equity for some of our management team.
yeah.
And once you start to get to that level, you start to then lock in your senior managers because you don't grow the company, you
Mm,
grow your team. And the team put in place the systems, the process, and run the day-to-day stuff. And we're just the coach, coaching them and giving them the guardrails to hit their numbers.
yeah. Yeah. That's exactly where we sort of our mindset's probably grown a little bit since the summit, and it is okay. This is where we want to be, and that's okay. What am I spending my time doing? That look, it's comfortable for me. I know what I'm doing, but it's not going to get us to that next level.
Yeah.
So that, yeah, looking at those hires, having some, and look, I 1,000,000% know that there's going to be someone that we could find that's going to do a lot better job at it than me as well.
Mm.
And
Yeah. There'll be
utilizing,
an Owen or a Vinny or a
yeah,
out there
yeah,
who's,
yeah,
you know,
um,
young, hungry, and
to do that. And
how old are you, Steve?
42,
Oh, young, 42. You still got years
tough,
left in
tough
you.
life, yeah,
In your prime.
yeah, yeah.
So how's your mindset changed over the last 18 months or so?
Um, Look, I guess one of the big things personally, coming through the back end of COVID, fell into that trap of the blame game. There was always a reason outside of us that something didn't go the way we wanted it to, whether it
You
be
haven't been in Tamworth.
yeah, no. Like it's like, oh, the industry's got this and that, and then I realized, like, okay, yep, fair enough. COVID was probably a time where it is, but were we as organised as we could be? Were we getting all the information from our clients signed off to a point that we know exactly what we're doing, so we can order our materials earlier and lock them in? We had too much work on at the time. Did we have some clients were disgruntled, obviously with timeframes and frustrations with that. But instead of saying, "Oh, look, they're just wankers, they're dickheads, don't worry about them anyway," it's like, okay, let's have a look in that mirror. What are we doing? Are we communicating well enough? Are we giving them the information? What are their frustrations actually about, and what can we do to then eliminate it? So, turning that on its head, and I guess for myself, looking at, okay, look, that didn't end up like I wanted it. What can I do every day to be able
Exactly.
to
It's like
affect that?
all progress starts with looking in the mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly where you're at, everything.
Mm,
Relationship, finances, bank account, belt line, family,
yeah.
etc., is all a function of all the decisions that you've made leading up to now. And
Mm,
if you take ownership for your situation, then you own the problem
yeah.
and you can make changes.
Yeah, yeah.
How have you changed as a leader? What changes have you made as a leader over the last wee while?
That's been the challenging part for me now. So, like, obviously, doing it myself, you sort of understand and you commit to it. Trying to, we've tried to instill the, I guess, see ourselves as more of a coach and a leader for our team, for our site guys. Okay, let's do the PSR, the problem solution recommendation. And I've been guilty of it, and that's the thing I find really hard too is, hey, you've got a question, here's your answer. This is what I do, sort of thing, and pulling myself back and saying, okay, giving them the opportunity to problem solve and get answers themselves. So then probably reduces it. But the tough thing, I guess, I find is if they come up with a solution or a recommendation that wouldn't be what you would do, just letting them sort of run with it to obviously go through that process to a point where it's not going to be hugely detrimental, but without actually then giving them a dot point action list of this is what I want you to do to solve this problem with that. And then a little bit also about the victim versus victim mentality. Is it's easy to blame, it's easy to find an outside factor, or it's the contractor's problem that they didn't turn up, why this job schedule's gone up to shit, not the fact that we haven't phoned them a week before to confirm and then followed up or sent them all the plans and locked them in and confirmed them in writing. So we've done everything that we could have done to then make that situation outcome different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
Um,
sure. And
yeah.
what tools or resources have you found most helpful, most useful out of the community? Or maybe it's a specific resource, or maybe it's one-on-one coaching or the summits. What's been most helpful?
Look, a lot of it has been very good. I think the availability to the coaches is really good, and just having someone to bounce those thoughts off or open your eyes up to something when you get stuck in tunnel vision, when you're actually in the heat of things, in the heat of the moment, you can't see outside of where you're heading sometimes, but you able to pull back and get some opportunities. And I guess it's conversations and communications because really the coaches do what I'm trying to do. They don't really tell you this, this, and this. It's asking the questions. So you by the end of it, you just talk yourself through a lot
Yeah.
of the
Because then
problems or
you
questions
own
that you
the,
have.
they just help guide
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
You
yeah,
own the solution and you own the implementation.
yeah, yeah.
So,
But it's been really good too. Like a lot of the systems and that online, we've probably been guilty of not implementing a lot or getting the what do they call it, the overwhelm of the so many things to do, but not actually then we'll do bits and pieces or 60, 70% of one, not focus on it, instill it 100%. Let's get that going and then move on to the next one. But having those plug and play systems in there to a point of, okay, this is a best practice or a opportunity or an option of how you could run this particular section of the business, whether it be the back costing or your site meetings, daily meetings, to have those sort of things. Have it as a plug and play and sort of just get it in there and do it, and then like
yeah.
refine it after. So yeah, it like as a builder, and we've all been probably builders, tradies. We come onto it, and then switching to that. Okay, I'm not a builder tradie anymore. I'm a business person, and need to think that way. But on the flip side, you don't know what you don't know as well, and then coming through and say, okay, well, these are well the traffic light system of the A to Z operations. Okay, these
Yeah.
are the things to have a really successful business. I need to have everything in here, and because okay, never even really thought about this, never really
Yeah.
gave it consideration as this might help me or be
And it's
useful.
that transition from being a great builder to it's a different set of skills to learn. Right. I'm now a business owner. I
Oh,
need to learn the skills to be a great business owner.
yeah, yeah. And it's not only different, it's nearly polar opposites.
Yeah. It's a
It's all
different.
good. And some days you think, just let's just go and smack a nail into some timber and whack a frame up and great, I've done something. But yeah, it is so rewarding though. And that's like I think I'm at this very, very early entry level stages of probably being a business person as opposed to a as a tradesperson. But it is rewarding because yeah, well, they say you either stop and don't grow and
Yeah.
keel over and die,
Grow
or
or die, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. So where do you want to take the company? What's possible over the next 2 to 5 years?
Yeah, so building wise, I love where we're at in terms of the model that we've created, being able to do it. I'd love to instill a couple of extra people in there, I think, to be able to probably increase our, not massively, but increase our workflow, maybe up to that 25 to 30 jobs
Mhm.
per year, which we'd need to add definitely some stuff on the management side there. But from there, we've always done spec homes. We've always done little development opportunities. So I'd love to probably branch out into that and keep it consistent and grow that side of things. Because we do what we do for clients, but I love going through the build process myself. I love creating a design that you think of and how it would function and how you could use spaces and the looks and the style and the colors and the materials that come together, and then standing back and like the display home we've got here has had some really good feedback and it's very different. But seeing
Especially,
those,
I give you some great feedback on that art. That looks fantastic on the wall behind you.
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
It took me a couple of weekends, but we got there. So
No, yeah. No,
couple of
you,
weekends to go to the post office and pick it up from delivery.
exactly.
But yeah, I love going through that. So I yeah do that, and of course there's obviously financial reward from the development side of things, and have there too.
And what would you say to a building company owner who maybe is stuck, they've plateaued, or they know, hey, I can achieve a shitload more than what I'm currently achieving out of my business?
Yeah, it'd be, I guess to like you got to invest in into yourself in no matter what you do. Sporting teams don't go run around without a coach and have success. Like whether it's a community, whether it's a group of builders in your local area that if that so works that you talk to each other and you can help each other out, it's probably very rare to find that. But to real for what you invest, like find yourself some people you can align with, people that sort of share the same vision, practice what they preach, put into place, well, have your what you feel is your best interest at heart too to help. you get to where you want to be, and utilize it. Like whatever the financial investment is that you're prepared to make, if you put the work in and you get stuck in, you implement things like the growth, the revenue, the profit, the time that you can get yourself back, it, the financial investment that you make disappears into significance, really, when you can see the positive growth that you can get there. And you do get stuck, and I think you do need somebody outside of your own head.
Absolutely.
I think I might be stopped, am I?
Yeah, no, you're back. You were paused there for a moment.
Back, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's why Tiger Woods has a coach, right? Like, said, because you can't see your own swing.
Yeah,
You need
yeah.
a third party objective, giving some feedback. And if you've got a community of other people, and some people who are where you're at, and other people who are where you want to be, who maybe solve the problem that you're grappling with, you can get done in 12 months what you could trying to figure it all out on your own over 5 years.
Yeah, accelerated growth. Like you don't need to reinvent the wheel. There's plenty of people who've got wheels already.
Exactly. All right. It's been a pleasure talking today, Steve. I appreciate you. It's great seeing great things happen to great people, my man. I appreciate you.
Cheers, Marty. Appreciate all you do for us, and yeah, excited to continue the journey.
Exactly. Go hard. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, mate.